Namaste. I'm Swetha and I study in grade 8 in Sishagriha Senior School. Today, I'll be explaining and demonstrating the working of a bubble top water dispenser. I have taken two plastic containers, a plastic jar and a plastic bottle. I've made a hole in this plastic jar and covered it with a piece of tape. Similarly, I've made a hole in the plastic bottle and covered this with a piece of tape. So now I'm going to pour the water from this bottle into the jar by tilting it upside down. You will be able to observe air bubbles. As you can see, there are air bubbles which enter this bottle. So why does this happen? When the water from the bottle enters the jar, it creates an empty space or vacuum. The air pressure is very less or there is no air pressure at all in the vacuum created. The atmospheric pressure around the containers is more than the pressure which is inside the bottle. It's a general tendency of nature to strike an equilibrium. So the air from an area of high pressure moves to an area of low pressure. So the air around the containers enters the containers and we can see it as air bubbles in the bottle. We can also observe that the water level in the jar stops rising once it reaches the mouth of this bottle. This is because there is no space for the air to enter the bottle and so therefore the water also stops falling down. So now I am going to remove this piece of tape which is covering the hole in this jar. Let us see what happens. As you can see, the water starts coming out of this hole. So the water starts coming out of this hole, and as the water level of this jar, of the water in this jar starts getting lower, the water from this bottle, which is above, it starts filling up the space. And you can also observe air bubbles. This is because the air from the atmosphere enters through this gap, and you can see it as air bubbles in this bottle because of the same reason which I had explained earlier. So now let's see what happens when I uncover the hole which is in this bottle. As you can see, the water from the bottle starts entering the jar due to gravity and also because the air from the atmosphere starts entering the bottle through this hole. Since the outlet in the jar is also closed, there is nowhere else for the water to move. So the water level in the jar starts rising and once it reaches the brim, it starts overflowing. So with this simple demonstration, we could understand how the bubble top water dispensers in our households work and we could also understand the concepts of air pressure. Thank you.